everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Taboo Talks with Crystal, where we break the silence, tackle the tough stuff, and bring taboo topics front and center. I'm your host, Crystal Casey, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably in the thick of it. Maybe your toddler just dumped an entire box of cereal on the floor. Or maybe your preteen told you to fuck off as she left for school this morning. And it's taking everything in you not to do what your parents would have done to you. Maybe you're hiding in the closet, taking a much-needed 5-minute break. Wherever you are, Mama, I see you. I feel you. I am you. Trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to begin diving into something really important and super close to my heart. How to begin healing from trauma when it feels like the weight of the world is sitting right on your shoulders. Trust me, I know that feeling well. It wasn't too long ago that just getting out of bed felt like the hardest thing for me to do. I was overwhelmed by everything. Solo parenting, grief, guilt, trauma. The idea of healing felt impossible. I was a robot. I was a shell of the person that I was. But what I've learned is that healing is not this big, scary mountain that you have to climb all in one go. It's a series, a process, small steps. And today, I'm going to begin walking you through those first few steps. And I want you to remember today and every day that this is not about doing all of the things or doing everything perfectly. You hear me? This is about meeting yourself where you are, wherever that is, and committing to continuing to move forward. One step, one breath at a time. Keep moving forward. You'll find your way. Let's get into it. I know many of you might feel like healing is this massive, looming task, this chore that you don't even have time for, especially when you're juggling kids and work and the house and what's for dinner and the laundry's piling up and everything else that life throws at you. But healing doesn't require huge, life-altering changes. It starts small. And it starts with acknowledging where you are right now. So let's break it down into 3 simple steps that you, yes, I'm talking to you, you can start with today. Step 1, acknowledge the pain. Look, I get it. We've been conditioned to push through. You've probably spent years, like I had, shoving the pain down, smiling through the tough moments, telling yourself, it's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. But the truth is, it's okay not to be fine, and I don't think we ever learn that. The first step in healing is acknowledging the trauma, naming it, calling it what it is, recognizing it, and just accepting that it's there. I know it can be really scary. Sometimes just admitting that we're hurting is the hardest thing. But acknowledging the pain doesn't mean you're weak. It means that you're brave enough to face it. For me, it started with accepting and acknowledging that all of the trauma and all of the things that I had been through did not make me who I was. It didn't make me any worse or less of a person. Acknowledging that, being vulnerable, that's the first step. So if you can, I want you to try that this week. Set aside 5 minutes. That's all. Set a timer, whatever you got to do. No distractions. And just sit with whatever comes up. What is the trauma that's blocking you? What did you go through? Acknowledge that it's there and it's okay. It's okay. You are still worthy of love. You are still beautiful and amazing with unlimited potential. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's okay. We're creating space for healing to begin. I invite you to pause this podcast right now. Set your timer for 5 minutes and just allow yourself to recognize what's coming up. Go ahead and grab a journal or a notebook. Feel free to take any notes and then come on back to me. I'll be here waiting. Welcome back. Keep your notebook and pen handy for step number 2, which is to start small. You don't have to go on a huge overhaul or makeover of your entire life inside and out from top to bottom, or go away on a 10-day silent retreat somewhere exotic. I mean, honestly, how is that even feasible with kids anyway? Healing starts with small, manageable actions that fit into your life. For example, journaling, just 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be fancy, just a notebook and a pen. You can write whatever comes to mind, even if it's just I'm tired and I have no idea what to write. The act of getting thoughts out of your head and onto paper is so freeing. It can give you a place to process without any pressure. Another small step, practicing mindfulness with your kids. And yes, I promise it's possible, even in the chaos. When things are feeling crazy, like your kids are fighting over the last snack, or you're overwhelmed by all of the noise, touched out, sensory overload, pause. Practice the pause and take 3 deep breaths. You can encourage your kids to do the same thing. So let's do that right now. Breathe in your nose. Fill your belly with air. Allow the belly button to expand and your belly to grow like a balloon. Hold. Exhale, draw the navel in towards the spine and release all of the air back out through the nose. Beautiful. Again, inhale. Hold. And exhale. One more deep breath in the nose. Fill the belly, send the breath all the way down. Hold at the top. And exhale, release. The way that I like to do this with my kids is we learn to smell the flower. So hold your finger out in front of you with one finger, like the number 1. Bring it up to their nose and I have them smell the flower and then pull it away in front of their mouth. Say, blow out the candle. This is a great way to calm yourself in the moment and to teach your child emotional regulation as well. Step number 3, give yourself permission to be kind to you. This one is huge. We are so hard on ourselves, especially as moms. You might be thinking right now, how can I focus on healing when I'm supposed to be taking care of the groceries and the dishes and the appointments and the school schedule and everything else? Let me tell you, self-compassion is the foundation of healing. You have got to give yourself permission to be kind to you. I had to learn this the hard way. I spent so long blaming myself for everything that had gone wrong in our family, thinking I wasn't doing enough, being enough. But the truth is, we deserve the same kindness and patience that we give to others. Let me ask you a question. If your child or your best friend came to you and said, I am so awful because I made this mistake and I did this and I let this person down and I failed here. But you knew that person was doing their best and trying their best and had a heart of gold. What would you say to them? Now, why can't you say that to yourself? Why can't you show yourself that same love, grace, compassion, and understanding? You can. Just in case no one has told you today, you are enough, just as you are, even when you're still in the process of healing. Start by changing the way that you talk to yourself. Instead of saying, I'm such a mess, I can't do this, this is terrible, try saying, I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough. Small shifts in how we speak to ourselves can create huge changes in how we feel. All right, mamas, I know that was a lot for the first episode, but remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Healing is a journey, and every small step you take is progress. Just acknowledging the pain, starting small, and showing yourself a little compassion is enough to get the ball rolling. I'm here to walk with you through this, and if anything from today's episode resonated with you, I want to hear about it. Take a picture of your journal, share a quick story on our socials, or you can even send me a message if you'd like to keep it more private. Let's keep this conversation going, though, because healing is not something we do alone. We're in this together, mama. And hey, before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss next week's episode, where we'll be diving into the oh-so-fun topic of setting boundaries. Trust me, you're going to want to hear this one. Until next time, take care of yourself, hug those babies tight, and remember, you've got this. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Flight of the Phoenix Collective. And if you found today's episode helpful, share it with another mama who might need it. Together, we're breaking the silence, one taboo topic at a time.